What is up, guys, and welcome to the South Coast. Wanted to take a few minutes today and hit y'all with my 100-hour review of my 2019 Bad Boy Maverick mower. Let's get to it. Alright, guys, so like I was saying, I want to take a few minutes to bring you my 100-hour review on my Bad Boy Maverick. A little background: I bought this bad boy back in 2019, bought it with my own money, no association with Bad Boy Mowers or the dealership I got it from. It's a 2019 Bad Boy Maverick, 60-inch deck with the Kohler 747 Confidant engine on it. Just want to go through a few pros, cons, sort of maintenance, different modifications I've done, stuff like that. Just to give you an idea of how this mower is doing after 100 hours of use. The piece of property I cut primarily is it's about 3.5 to 4 acres depending on which sections I cut. It was basically an abandoned field when we bought the property, so it was highly overgrown with weeds and whatnot. So we've got it cleaned up, and right now it's primarily Bahia grass and Kogan grass, unfortunately, on the Kogan grass. But so it's basically just an old field. It was planted at some point in time, so you can still feel there's areas where there were crop rows, so it can get bumpy at times, but the Maverick does well out there. It does a great job getting it cut, and I've been enjoying it so far. So I made a little list here, some pros and cons, so we'll go through those real quick. First thing I think is it's pretty decent on fuel. It's not a crazy gas guzzler or anything like that. I can usually get about 2 cuts on a tank of fuel. I think that tank's anywhere from, I think it's 5 to 7 gallons, not real sure. But it does well on fuel. It doesn't, I'm not filling it up every time I'm going to cut, which is nice. Just the build quality on it is super sturdy. It is super sturdy, very well built. Definitely some thick plate used on the deck and high quality tubing on the frame and everything like that. So all the welds look great on it. You can definitely tell somebody took some time to design the mower to where it could be built in a simple manner, and it's built sturdy. There's no crazy fancy whiz-bang gadgets on it or anything like that. This 2019 Maverick does have the suspension on the front, basically the swing arms for the wheels, as well as on the hydro gears in the rear. That suspension has been great for the piece of property that I cut primarily. Like I said, it had been planted at some point in time, so there's definitely a lot of lumps and bumps on the property, and having that just little bit of suspension has been great. Definitely make it a lot more comfortable and gives you a smoother cut at the end of the day. Maintenance has been super easy on this mower. Nothing crazy, no crazy procedures, no crazy tools you need to do the standard maintenance. And I'll get to all the maintenance that I've done on it here in a bit, but basically easy maintenance. If you are at all mechanically inclined, if you have a set of hand tools, you should be good to go. It's pretty comfortable. Obviously, it's not going to compare to some of these commercial mowers that have full-on air suspension seats or spring suspension seats on them. It's a standard seat, but having the suspension on the swing arms and the hydro gears has been really nice. Definitely made it a lot more comfortable, like I said earlier. I haven't had any breakdowns with this mower. I haven't had any issues with the engine, the spindles, the hydro gears, anything like that. I did have to replace one of the hydro gear fluid reservoirs, the expansion tank basically, because a mouse or something had gotten into my garage and had eaten a hole in it. So I did have to replace that, but even getting the part for that was not bad, and replacing it was pretty simple. So things I don't necessarily like about this mower: the stock tires have a tendency to slip if you are changing directions quickly, if you're turning quickly, going from forward to reverse or reverse to forward. stuff like that, especially when the grass and ground is wet. So that's something to note. I didn't really notice it early on in owning the mower. I think primarily just because I was blowing and going, wasn't really paying attention all that much, but some folks had mentioned it in comments in some previous videos, and I've been paying a lot more attention to it here lately. And definitely if I'm cutting early morning when the grass is wet, the tires will have a tendency to slip, or if it's not long after a rain, those tires will start slipping in that softer dirt, softer ground, and they'll pull up some grass. So that's something that could be better from the factory. I'm not sure if it's worth spending the money to upgrade tires aftermarket or not. It's just something I'm sort of weighing out right now. The tires have plenty of life on them. Just cutting grass with them, the tread's not wearing down at all. It's just not a super great tread on the factory tires, so that's something that could be better. The OEM blades, definitely not as good as some aftermarket blades, but they are usable, they're serviceable. They have a pretty good lifespan on them, but I think going with like a mulching blade, I swapped over to the Copperhead mulching blades, and they've been great. I probably won't go back to an OEM style blade after having those, so that's something to note if you're looking at getting one of these mowers. You may want to go ahead and get some Copperhead blades, have them on standby, just ready to swap out with your OEM blades whenever you wear those out. Like anything else, this mower could be faster. I think the speed from the factory, it's good. It gives you a good cut quality, but like anything else, I enjoy speed. I think the mower could be faster. It would be a little bit more fun if it was a faster mower, but I'm not complaining about that. Just something that could be a fun little upgrade. I've done a couple modifications on this mower so far. Like I said, I changed over to the Copperhead blades, Copperhead mulching blades. I'll have those linked down in the description. But the only other modification I've made is I added a fuel cutoff valve on the fuel line going from the fuel tank to the fuel filter, which then goes on to the carburetor. I think that's something that could be beneficial coming from the factory, is a fuel cutoff valve. Mainly for me, it's for maintenance purposes, changing that fuel filter and stuff like that. But I know there are areas where folks need to winterize their mowers, and part of winterizing your mower, you want to get all the fuel out of your carburetor, so having a fuel shutoff valve would be very beneficial in that scenario. So just a couple little mods, and go ahead and check the description, because I'm going to have links for all sorts of different videos of the mods, the blades, all that sort of stuff. So go ahead and check the description for those videos. Alright, so as far as maintenance goes, it's been pretty simple. I've just followed what maintenance is called out at the different intervals in the manual. So I've done oil changes. I've changed the oil and filters on the hydro gears. That was probably the most difficult bit of maintenance, but really super simple. Basically just draining the oil out, swapping filters, refilling it, and then there's a little bit of a procedure to get the air bled out of those hydro gears after you add the new oil. But other than that, just greasing all the grease fittings, keeping it clean, changing the air filter, spark plugs, fuel filter, did all that sort of stuff right at 100 hours. One of the things you want to make sure you're doing pretty much every time you're cutting is cleaning that pre-filter on your air filter. So the air filter, at least on the Kohler engine, it's got your main element and then basically a little foam sleeve that goes on the outside of your main filter element. That sleeve needs to be cleaned pretty much every time you cut. The fine dust particles that it traps, if those get into your engine, like if that pre-filter gets too clogged up and starts pulling those fine dust particles through it, and that those dust particles go into your engine, That's really what's going to wear out your engine faster than anything else, is that fine dust. It gets in there, it gets between the rings and your cylinder walls, and it'll wear out your engine faster than anything. So make sure you're cleaning that pre-filter pretty regularly. Every now and again I go around and I check nuts and bolts, make sure nothing's backing out, nothing's getting loose on me. Take a look at your belt, make sure there's no abnormal wear, make sure all your pulleys look like they're tracking right, and just listening to your mower, making sure everything sounds right, you don't have any excessive bearing noise or anything like that coming from your spindles. But other than that, it's been super simple to maintain, just keeping up with oil filter and oil changes, and your air filter, keeping it clean, are the two biggest things to maintaining these mowers. And then just like any other mower, you're going to want to keep your blades sharp. So I've got a system I've sort of developed for sharpening, or for removing, sharpening, and reinstalling these blades. Pretty simple. I'll have that linked down in the description as well as all this maintenance, all these maintenance items. I've videoed all of that. I've got them all on my YouTube channel, so I will link those down in the description. But yeah, other than that, there's not much else to say about this mower. It's built very well. I would definitely purchase another one if I had the opportunity, if I had the need for a second mower. I'd definitely be looking at another Bad Boy. I love the way it's built. I love how easy it is to maintain. And I love how it hasn't given me any issues in its first 100 hours of operation. So I think I'm going to leave it at that. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Hit that thumbs up if you enjoyed this review, if you got something out of it. Leave me some comments if you have a Bad Boy or any other brand. Sort of let me know what you think about your mower at 100 hours. Any issues you've had with it, any super awesome things that you love about it. Go ahead and leave a comment down in the description. It's cool to hear about different mowers as well as other Bad Boy mowers, just so we can all sort of learn from each other. If you haven't already, click that subscribe button. Be more mower videos, more Bad Boy Maverick videos, as well as whatever I get into. Excuse me. But I think we're going to wrap it up here. Like I said, hit that thumbs up, click that subscribe button, and leave me a comment down in the comment. Check the description for links to products and videos. Watching those videos and using those product links helps grow this channel, and I greatly appreciate that. And that's that. I hope y'all have a good one. We'll catch you next time down here on the South Coast.